right, y'all. All right, everybody. I'm back live again at 6:30. I said I was gonna give it a little time. So a lot of people didn't understand. A lot of people didn't understand what I meant earlier. In my previous video, a lot of people had some type of misconception, didn't know what I was talking about, and this and the third. So this is what I'm speaking on. Hold on one moment. So. we got a we got a major problem, major serious problem going on here. Serious criminal problem, whatever you want to call it. This is happening across the country. I do know, we do know that um, this issue is happening across the country. We do know that rental property scams are happening across the country. But far as rental scams, renters who find themselves under rental scams often don't even know it. Like the way we found out was through documentation, through proper documents, and again, so glad we did. Which in fact, in the end, tenants win. I feel in my heart that they should win and even do win when they find out they're under rental property scams. Sometimes what we need to be start paying close attention to, guys, is that some of these properties, some of these rental properties go into foreclosure. Sometimes the owner won't say anything, and so you're left. So in other words, you're renting out a building. You're at this particular rental property. All of a sudden, it goes into foreclosure. I didn't know what none of that was until I started doing some massive and really hardcore research, which means they weren't paying their taxes on the property. They weren't paying their taxes for the buildings, things of that nature. So oftentimes tenants are left in the dark. So you're not going to know that until when you look up one day, it's going to be like, okay, what's going on here? Your particular landlord or your particular property owner wasn't paying taxes. Liens and all type of stuff happens with that particular situation, which is vital, which is horrible for, I ain't gonna say horrible for the tenants because it's really not, but in all actuality, um, so in other words, property owner discrepancies, who actually owns these buildings, who actually owns your rental property, that's the main question you need to be asking. And you all can find that in your court records at your local courthouse, in your local city, parishes, or townships. So what happens with this is, which again, tenants win, which is great on us, which is great for all of us in that matter, because oftentimes you will have people who are complete scam artists, who are complete, I call them scam artists. You can call them criminals, you can call them thieves. We call them all that. Um, they'll come right underneath the property and steal it from whoever actually had it. So what we have that's happening here across the country and across America is happening in multiple cities, which is being talked about. CNN's covered some stories. A lot of news stations have covered this for us, rental property scams and tenants when they find themselves under rental scams. But we do know you got to take them to small claims court. You got to take them back to court and get all your money back. We do understand that, but wait a minute. There's something else they weren't telling you, and something I didn't know. If you find yourself under that particular, if you're renting from that rental property and you find yourself under a rental scam, meaning those are not the right people, those are scam artists, you're thinking to yourself, oh God, they're gonna put me out. No, they can't do that. So here is where it gets good, guys. This is where it gets good. And we win. So another great win for the tenants. As far as those of us fighting for renters' rights, if you're fighting for renters' rights, jackpot, baby. You know what I'm saying? Gold mine, right here. So huge gems right here. And so, which means also kind of what it means for that particular individual, whoever that property owner is, your tenants will be living rent free. You actually will be living rent free. People are like, what are you talking about? You must be crazy. You can't stay nowhere for free. Oh yes, you can under certain guidelines, under certain statutes. You're able to live in that unit for free. You know, you're able to live in that unit for free. Huge financial loss for whoever the registered agent is or whoever your landlord is. Um, so, which in facts, and also what we need to be speaking of, which means the lease agreement. The lease agreement was a scam. So you guys are not even actually bound to a lease, but which in fact that actually helps us in a great way too, though in a small way. You signed a lease. We signed a lease to whoever it was. We still don't know. We do know now who the actual person is who actually owns the property, so which is great for us. But we signed a fraudulent lease. Though that's great. It's not great on that part, but it's great that our name was signed to a legal binding document. So whenever situations like this, guys, arise, or whether you're month to month or um, whether you're month to month or on a yearly lease, guys, if you find yourself under a rental property scam, those people aren't the right owners. What do you do? And I love this question. I love sharing it with you guys. They can't put you out, which they call what they have is called a Renters Protection Act under the Foreclosure Protection Act, which gives renters up to 90 days, if not longer. It qualifies you all to finish out the rest of your lease, your yearly lease, and it helps in numerous of ways. They can't put you out. You're able to fulfill your lease, your entire lease, and possibly, and it also, if your lease renews on its own, if you're in a situation, or if you have a situation where your lease renews by itself, that's even gravier. If your lease has just renewed, or if you're in the middle of a lease, if your rental property is seized, you know what that means, right? Anybody know what that means? You've been in that property 2 or 3 years. Amazing, right? All of a sudden, guess what? Your property owner wasn't paying their taxes. What do? The property gets seized, gets turned over to a bank or a particular third party creditor. That's your new owner. That's your new landlord, guys. So this is where I'm headed with this. If your rental property is seized, do know this. You're no longer obligated to pay rent to that particular individual or to that particular landlord. And that's even if he or she was real in to begin with. So I'm giving you guys some awesome gems, huge gems. Because what they're not telling us, and what I didn't know, and what a lot of us, what I didn't know, is that when rental properties are seized, whether it's by the government, whether it's by a bank, or a particular creditor, wants their property back, perfect, perfect. You ain't gotta pay rent until that situation is resolved, until you know actually in for certain who the owner is. You guys, you all, I hope you all will listen. I'm gonna do 3 videos tonight on this if my phone can stay charged. Great information, okay? If they haul you off to eviction court, right? This is some of your greatest and biggest defenses. A sure win. So, but listen, you gotta listen to this. So, you were staying at the property 2 or 3 years, maybe a year. I just use this as an example. You were living at your rental property for about a year. You thought everything was legit. You were paying the right people, going about your world, going about your life everyday life, yah. But then you find out these weren't the right people. They weren't exactly who they claimed to be. So they turn out to be um, fraudulent owners, which I mean, a lot of people don't talk about this, and it's in the news. It's being talked about, but rental property scams are the third, I think, second or third growing parts of growing crimes in America, white collar crimes, and these are hardly not even talked about. So rental scams is an ever growing problem in our nation, in our cities. It can happen to anybody, happen to you, happen to me. It can happen to any one of us if you're not paying attention when they transfer properties. This is another thing I want to share with you guys. Y'all, when they transfer properties, make sure you're paying attention. You're not gonna know. They often do it. They do it when renters are not paying attention. Oftentimes they do it very fast to where you wouldn't even know what's going on, and oftentimes you won't know what's going on if they transfer particular managements, transfer people. You're not gonna know. So again, my best advice to all you guys, to each and every one of you guys tonight, is to go to your local courthouse in your particular parishes or cities or townships. Find out who your real property owner is. Okay, this is where I'm showing you all the greatness in all this, and where you win major points, huge victories for us as tenants. A lot of people are like, what are you talking about? It can't be a victory. Yes, it is. It's a victory because due to the fact you were under a or under a scam fraudulent owner, you were paying rent. You were paying rent to imposters. You were paying rent to scam artists. This is exactly what was going on. You guys were paying rent to the wrong people. You were paying rent to scam artists. Um, Being under a rental scam, you will never know until you literally to well, you would have to go and research. They're not going to say, oh, you're going to walk up to them and be like, you go to the leasing officer, you go to whoever you're renting the property from. Who's the owner? They'll just look at you like, I'm like, sir or ma'am, can you tell me who owns this property? They won't tell you nothing. You want to know why that is? That's red flags right there. Immediate, immediate red flags. When they don't respond back to you, instant red flags, immediate red flags. That's where y'all, this is where the victory comes in at. This is where the victory lies. You're thinking, what are you talking about? People say, what am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Major victory. You were paying rent to a person who didn't own your rental property. Now, not only is that criminal, but that is illegal. Illegal and also criminal. This is what they're doing in Shreveport, right here in the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, right here in this city. We have been victims and continue to be victims of these horrible, malicious crimes. I call it horrible because that's what it is, downright sickening. You have to be a sick individual to do that to vulnerable families. You have to be a sick individual to do that to innocent families, vulnerable families who barely can pay the rent as it is. And then you have these individuals, and then you have these people, or whoever these con artists are, coming to these properties. I don't know if they're doing it through the documents, which we think that's what they're doing. Doing it through the documents, doing it through documentation, switching paperwork, through deeds. Y'all, it's happening. Please be careful. I've done multiple videos like this. You're welcome to share it. I have done multiple videos, guys, on this. I have done multiple. I'm from back 2 years ago. Go back and look at them. I'm on it. We on it. This is a brand new year, 2025, and this ain't going out. This ain't happening no more. You will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. You will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And that is no joke. Anyone caught doing these crimes, in other words, if once you're caught, once the particular suspects or parties are caught doing these crimes, trust and believe, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, for which the law allows. I will make sure of it. Though I'm not no high person or high official, but I will make sure of it. That you will spend every single part every year in that prison. You will serve. And let me also share this real quick. Y'all do know that is considered a felony. You got class A, B, and C, and that's one of the highest parts of theft. So y'all, this is happening right here in the city of Shreveport. I don't know who else is speaking out on this. I know it's me and a few other renters, which I feel great about. But so you guys, please make sure You know who your owners are. This is happening here and it continues to happen. And I'm also holding these officials. I'm also holding these city officials accountable. I'm mad they get. We are victims of crimes. Not one word. No one has said anything. Talking about city officials have not said one thing. Not one thing. Why is that? You ask. Where's the outcry? Where's the voices? Where's the people that needs to be standing up? Because I'm not the only renter across the city. 50% of the population in Shreveport is renters. 50% of the population is renters in this city. Maybe more than that. And we have a vast majority who are homeowners. They too need to be careful because they're stealing their home titles. Again, people are growing tired. Sometimes I do grow tired of being the only one speaking out on situations like this. This is how badly it hurts. Because the rest of these people don't speak out on nothing around here in Shreveport. They'll speak out on police brutality, talk about the white man this and the white man that, and the white man ain't the cause of our problems. Yeah, that happened in history. We do know that, but when are we gonna let that go? Y'all gotta stop blaming the white man for everything. That's all y'all do out here. The white man this, the white man that. If he come in there, I'm gonna be like, take it up with him. Don't bring that to me, cause I'm gonna tell you in a heartbeat. That is so tired and sick. Y'all blaming that white man for it. Yeah, we know what happened 100 years ago during slavery, during Jim Crow, during the Civil Rights Movement. All that. Yeah, we know that. Some of us was born way after that. We understand history. We know our history. At least I hope we do. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. So you know what I mean? So yeah, y'all, we're dealing with huge issues here, right in the new year, and still dealing with this dang, you know what I'm saying? Same old stuff. And it has not gotten better here. That is false. The gun violence rates continue to go up, and no, they're not. The gun violence numbers are not going down. Trust and believe when I tell you this. The gun violence is not going down. As a matter of fact, it got worse. We done had 3 drive-bys within a week, even before New Year's. The end of right after Christmas, we had 3 drive-bys, and not including all the other homicides we done had in this city over the years. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So it takes people like us who can bring the truth, who can bring the real facts, who can bring the truths out for what it is. That's what I like. I like to be around people who can keep it real, people who can speak facts. Okay, what's happening in the community? What are they doing to try to assist us? They have done absolutely nothing. And I've made multiple videos about this. Multiple videos about these rental property scams and how these people aren't the owners around here, defrauding the people. The people can't hardly go nowhere. The people need somewhere to stay, I imagine. But they tired of being scammed, like all of us. Shit, people gotta stay somewhere. What we're gonna be doing, moving all across the city every other month, or every other week, every 6 months to a year, whatever the case may be. Whatever whatever God, I'm like this. Whatever God, what they say was done in the dark will come to light. It is coming to light in this city. There ain't no way in the world. People who work part-time as myself, I work when I can. You know, ain't nobody rich around here, y'all. People, I struggle like everybody. People, I heard somebody making comments around here. Too nosy for their own good. I don't remember doing that mess growing up. People's business was their business. Grown folk, people minded their business. You know what I'm saying? People mind their damn own business. I don't worry about people like that. I never had and never will. As long as it don't affect me, I'm okay. But I'm learning that I had to grow up. Shit, you got people still in their 30s and 40s still ain't growing up. Still a kid. Still a kid. Still a child. But it's gonna be alright, because I had to grow up. It took me years to finally get into a place You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, y'all, I think I'm gonna do this video. It's gonna be 30 minutes. So again, the title speaks for itself. Please share this video. Leave your comments below. I speak on everything. I speak on great stuff too. I do food reviews. I speak on community issues. I speak on what's going on with our local government or state government. I speak on a variety of topics, y'all. I said for 2025, I'm gonna do it big. I did it big last year, so I said for 2025, with a great birthday present, I'm gonna do it big. Um, so yeah, guys, and this is you know, it just you gotta have a voice. Feel me? You gotta have a voice. You gotta y'all have to speak out. And especially if you're a renter, and as I stated earlier, huge victory. And especially if you are paying rent to an imposter. You stay in that unit. You stay in that unit. You stay in your apartment, and you stay in that house. They can't put you out. And any judge, let's put it like this: they will face immediate disciplinary actions and possibly lose that seat as a judge. Yeah, this is how serious it is. But you all have to fight back. You all have to use your voice. You gotta speak up. Great victory. Y'all can throw a party and save that money. Take your family on some trips. Pay some bills now. All your money is going to the rent man, going to the rent lady. But when you find out that you're under a rental property scam, that's when that's when all hell breaks loose. I don't see how we even keeping our composure right now. How we remain so calm in a situation as such. I'm gonna tell you why. Some of us don't want to go behind. Some of us don't want to go to jail for doing something against the law. Because in trust and believe, it's crossed our minds. Whenever you are under a rental, until it affects you, that's when you really truly gonna know the full spectrum. So, if that means you'd be storming, raging mad. We all are, but we're trying to hold our composure. We're keeping our composure. Can you imagine paying 6 and 7, or say for instance if you were paying 700-800 a month, you thought the property owners was legitimate, you thought your landlord was legitimate, everything is great, only to find out, only to find out that wasn't the real people. What you gonna do then? Oh, okay, thank you, okay, thank you for your service. Not, you're gonna call the police and you're gonna file charges like some of us have already done. I know 2 people have done it already, including myself. These are serious crimes, people. You don't sit back. You don't sit back in your apartment. You don't sit back and wait for someone to come save you. Lord, I don't know where that came from. Damn, that sounded good. Yeah, that sounded good, baby. That sounded good, G. That sounded good, y'all. I like what I just said. Damn, that sounded good. But anyways, so I mean, you know, you just can't sit back and accept wrong. You don't sit back and accept injustice. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you can't accept wrong. I don't know. It's just, you learn from we learn from the past. We learn from the past. Martin Luther King taught us this. Malcolm X taught us this. All of our great leaders, they didn't sit around and complain and complain. They took action and spoke out and fought for freedom. And they did it the legal way. Yeah, they did it legally. So we can complain, we can do all of that. But how many of us are standing up how many people are standing up like me in Shreveport? How many people are finally not accepting the wrongs and they accepting this injustice going on around here? I'm a very to myself person. I stay to myself. I don't bother nobody. At least I hope that. But I keep to myself. I'm not in everybody. I'm not on every. I don't. So it's days where people want to keep to themselves, and I don't blame them around here or across in bad areas or bad neighborhoods. You know, I try to love everybody. At least I hope. I try to love everybody. I got a heart. I really do. I have a heart. But I don't know, y'all. It's just I don't know. And I've been like, and again, I've been speaking out on this for over a year. If no, over a year. So it's 2+ years. Yeah, 2+ years. And you know it's bad when you go to somebody and you know they're doing it. You know these are the actual people that's committing these crimes. And you tell them right up, you tell them right in their face. They're looking at you dead in your face. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, really? Okay. You don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Cool. Cool beans, brother. I'll holler at you. But do know, with all good, when people out here stealing these properties and committing these crimes, what they say all good things come to an end because you are victimizing vulnerable families. Housing costs are to the roof, and can you imagine? Yeah, and can you imagine trying to find? It's already hard enough trying to find another place. It's hard enough to try to find a place. People are trying to stay stationary. People are trying to stay where they're at. Others are trying to move around, which I hope I'm able to, I'm hoping to do soon. But like I say, our biggest victory right now is the fact we were under a rental property scam. Anybody for us, tenants, any kind of renters that are under a rental scam, or you've been a victim of a rental scam, and you're still at that property, kudos to you. I mean, for real. Kudos to you. Don't go nowhere. Keep all your rent receipts, keep all your ledgers, keep all your documentations, and to show where you've paid your rent. Which you aren't paying your rent to the right person. You are paying your rent to a scam artist. Yeah, you were paying your rent to a scam artist. Yeah. And you say what? And you ask, why should I care? Oh, you should care very much. But that's our greatest victory. Another win for the tenants across the parish. A huge win. They're not going to tell you that. The officials ain't going to tell you that. A huge victory. You hold on to your money, you keep your money. That's one of your biggest defenses in court. Huge win in court. So make sure you all have an attorney. Get connected with legal aid. And let me tell you guys about legal aid. I was going to save that for last, but if you all have any type of legal aid organizations, any type of legal aid in your cities or states or forth within your counties, I'm so used to saying counties. I can't even say parishes no more because it's whack. You feel me? It's whacked. We're so behind here, y'all. It's ridiculous here in the state of Louisiana, and I was born here, so that's yeah, we're behind. But anyways, if you have a legal aid organization, if you have any type of legal aid services in your cities or states, if you could get pro bono attorneys, this is what's needed for the tenants. You can't go in there by yourself. Though you can. I'm not trying to tell you to go in your eviction hearing on your own, which you can, but it helps even better to have some type of pro bono lawyer. A lot of people can't afford lawyers, and if you do get one, they're going to drain you dry. I'm talking about just for that one time. They're charging at least $3,000 to $4,000, at least. Yeah, right here in Shreveport. I know, right? So my best suggestion, it's free attorneys, or excuse me, free legal aids. I call them pro bono attorneys, but it's legal aid. I think I say it clashes. To me, it's the same thing. A group of amazing people who helps to keep you housed in case you can't afford these expensive lawyers across the city. which they're very expensive, very expensive. So, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna do 2 more videos on this tonight. I'm gonna do one right after this one, but and like I said, y'all, this is what we're dealing with, y'all, and it's really bad. It's really bad, and criminal, and we're victims. You're a victim. But the most important thing, did you file your police reports? Did you file a police report? Was a police report filed? If it was, awesome. Keep your police reports like I've done. That is your documentation and that is your evidence. Yes, and you can use that in court. Yep. You can use that for evidence in court. And the judge will see that. See, whether you're Atlanta, Chicago, whatever city or state you're in, that is part of evidence. And they have to look at it. They have to look at it. They can't refuse it. Even in an eviction hearing, they cannot refuse it, guys, okay? So I'm giving you all some great pointers, some huge gems. Diamonds, I like to call them diamonds, but I call them gems, you know what I'm saying? So, but ways to, you all gonna remain housed if I have anything to do with it, which I already do, so it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that any longer. Families will stay housed. I promise you. I don't know how. I can promise. I can't promise a lot of things, but I can promise this. We're in this together. That's it. We're in this together, y'all. We're in this together. It's a new year, 2025, and we ain't playing no games. No games. We are serious, and We're coming full force concerning renters' rights. And these cities. That's right. Cities, wake up. We're gonna have to get it together. Start passing these ordinance. Yeah. Start passing these ordinance as they requested, as the tenants and families requested. No longer are we going to accept the same old, y'all. These ordinances must be passed in order to keep the families housed, in order to keep your friends, your loved ones housed in their apartments, in their homes. Shreveport is experiencing a high homeless rate. People, they're saying it's not a high homeless rate here. Are you serious? Where did y'all get that data from? This city here ranks number 4 in the most with the most homeless people per capita across the state of Louisiana, Shreveport. I mean, besides Baton Rouge. People sleeping under bridges. People sleeping on city bus stops. People sleeping where they can just to get warm. But we don't have a homeless problem. Okay. Okay. But we do. We have a homeless problem. It's not as huge as California, New York, or some of these huge major cities. But we're getting there. Sad but true. We have a major homeless problem. They're not going into the shelters. We know that. They no longer want these shelters. And I don't know. We will never know. I can't do it because it's too much for me emotionally. For the emotional, like crazy, like sadness. You feel me? Like deep sadness. We feed the homeless twice a week, every other Saturday. We feed the homeless. But I think the most the most beneficial, the most greatness with that. See, the hardest part with me is seeing them walk away. The hardest part is seeing the homeless people walk away. I have to turn my head because see, you know, when I see them walk away, it's the worst. Um, to know that these people, some won't have a place to go later that night. They won't have a place to stay that night. They won't have a place to stay. They're going back to the streets. Often that's what's happening, y'all. These homeless people going back to the streets. They don't want it. They don't want to stay in the shelters no more. Right. So, you know what I'm saying, y'all? It's something. It's really something. So yeah, y'all, we're dealing with major problems, major issues from the corruption here, the corruption again, the rental property scams, y'all. I mean, this is so sad. But it's gonna take people like me with voices and who can, you know, who could speak out on stuff like this. And so you guys share this video, like this video. It's going on 40 minutes. That's long enough for me. I'm gonna be doing 2 more videos. I'm gonna be starting adding more videos to my page, to my YouTube channel. I'm giving you guys some amazing, great gems, huge wins. Um, and this is the greatest part. I think this is another way. This is another awesome way that families can stay housed when they're coming when they find out, or when the tenants find out they're on a rental property scams. um you know, there it is. They won. That's right. They won. So whenever you all as tenants find yourself under a rental property scam, you win. You're not obligated to no longer pay rent. That's another way to withhold rent, but certain states have different laws, so please check your local state laws are governed. But that is one way to hold on and keep your rent money, especially if you're under a rental property scam. In other words, as I stated earlier in the video, if you're when you find out, say for instance, you go to your courthouse, you check out who owns such and such properties, and you find out they weren't the right people, and you find out they were a scam, and you were paying you were paying your rent to the wrong people, that is a scam. That is an absolute scam. Yeah, that's a scam, y'all. So that's all I wanted to tell y'all. So that is great news. I'm gonna be doing 2 more videos um, after this. Hopefully my phone can stay charged. My phone is dying out. So yeah, y'all. Y'all have a great day, and stay blessed, and much love, peace, and blessings. Stay safe out there, y'all. Happy belated New Year. Happy New Year 2025, y'all. Go.